Hey, what's up guys? Joker here. Today I wanted to give you guys a bit of an update on what's going on with the diet and exercise, weight loss, all of that stuff after the video that I did about a week ago talking about making some changes and kind of owning up to some of the mistakes that I've made and put back on some pounds since having the gastric sleeve surgery a little over 2 years ago now. So yeah, we talked about in that video about doing intermittent fasting and 1 meal a day diet and all of that. And like I said, just a bit of an update on what's been going on there. So at the time when I did that video, I had lost about 20 pounds in close to a week. I am now down to 25 pounds lost total, which is really good. It definitely started to slow down a bit after that initial 20 pounds or so. And I think maybe some of that is my fault. And I think a lot of that is also to do with when it comes to doing these types of diets, especially with intermittent fasting, you tend to lose a lot of water weight to begin with. This is what I've been reading up on. So you lose a lot of water weight, and that was true. I was urinating a ton for about that first week or so and getting rid of a lot of the water weight in my body, the excess. And since then, I had kind of plateaued for a few days and I wasn't seeing any losses, and I was wondering what I was doing wrong. And it really just seems like it was just that. But I've continued to lose weight since then, just not at that same pace as I was doing initially. And like I said, I think some of that was also my fault because of what some of the things I was eating. Now, when it came to my 1 meal a day, I was eating very well. I was eating low to zero carbs, whatsoever. I was making healthy meals with, lean proteins and all of that, sticking to, a low carb, high protein diet, and in some cases, high fat diets as well. Now, the mistake that I'm referring to is what I was choosing to snack on, because I originally, was like, I can't snack on, things I would normally maybe want to snack on, like chips, ice cream, cookies, things along those lines. So what I replaced that with was nuts, and the nuts I was choosing were not the right nuts. I pretty much only like pistachios and cashews when it comes to eating nuts or legumes, and apparently those are also pretty much the worst nuts that you can eat as part of a ketogenic diet, because they are incredibly calorie dense, and they also do have a decent amount of carbs in them as well, and you can easily consume what you should be putting into your body for a day's worth of carbs just by eating like a couple handfuls of pistachios or cashews. So that's kind of why I chose to stop with those and kind of go back into doing the 1 meal a day most days. On the weekends I will usually have a lunch as well, but still sticking within the high protein and everything like that. I have had a couple of like cheat meals here or there, which I know like there were some people on Twitter like, oh, you should never have any cheat meals because you're not The Rock or whatever. I was like, well, I think cheat meals are okay when it comes to just your own personal sanity and whatsoever. So I think maybe having one cheat meal a week is okay. The important thing was something that I actually learned from a nutritionist, which makes a lot of sense, is that the important thing is to have a cheat meal, not a cheat day. So as long as I was sticking to 1 meal, then I don't really see too much of an issue with it. And I was still not really choosing anything too high in carbs. It was basically fried fish. So I breaded and fried the fish, which is okay. I was using a healthy fat for the oil, and part of keto anyway is kind of eating a high fat, high protein diet anyway. So fat actually works in your favor when it comes to the ketogenic diet, as long as you're sticking with the right fats and not using things like vegetable or canola oil or things along those lines. You want to stick with things like olive oil, coconut oil, or actual animal fats like beef tallow or pork or lard from pigs. And I tend to use lard and olive oil, which is, believe it or not, better for you. I know a lot of people thinking, oh my God, lard, that's so bad for you. Like, no. It's not. The research about lard is actually very beneficial to people, and the whole high fat thing and getting rid of like that kind of stuff to begin with was just completely misconstrued and done with cherry picking evidence and all that. So I've been reading up on this a ton and done actual research on the ketogenic diet, because I'm not one of these people that likes to buy into the quote unquote fad diets and just kind of do what everyone else is doing because other people says it's working for them. I like to do a lot of research as a person that is a big believer in science and researching things before you dive into them and all of that. I did my due diligence when it came to the ketogenic diet and actually reading up some scientific papers and research that had been done to show the benefits of it for not only weight loss, but also just your overall health in general. So that's kind of why I've decided to go with the ketogenic diet and doing high protein, high fat, extremely low carb, staying under 20 to 30 carbs a day. I try to stay under 20 grams of carbs a day if I can, but that can be incredibly difficult. Like I try to stay away from obvious things like breads, but if you think of like a hamburger, if you put a hamburger on a bun, like a single Martin's potato bun has about 30 grams of carbs just in that one roll. So that's how easy it could be to go over your carbs for the day and pull yourself out of ketosis. So that's something I try to avoid doing. And I'm sorry about the lawnmower going on in the background and the excess noise. Hopefully the mic's not picking up too much of it. And we've got a whole bunch of people walking this way, so I'm going to take a little break and step away for now. All right. Apologies for the change of scenery. I was planning to do the entire video in the outdoors where I go for my walk every day. But yeah, it's like Thursday at 10 o'clock in the morning. I figured, okay, it'd be kind of quiet, kind of low-key out there. Wouldn't be too many people around in the middle of the week. And boy, was I wrong, because this is the busiest I have ever seen this walking track. There was like an entire high school gym class out there walking, and then the lawn crew showed up, and the guy mowed the grass right in front of my face. Went into an awful sneezing fit because I have terrible allergies when it comes to pollen and grass and things like that. And the pollen count this year has just been off the charts. So I had no choice really but to come back to the car and finish the video. But good thing I already got my walk in for the day, so that was really the next thing I was going to talk about. Was exercise. I come here every single day, except on Sundays I usually don't come here because we're usually busy, but pretty much every other day, especially during the week, Monday through Friday, I've been coming here. So I do 2 laps around this track, which goes around a lake, and it's 0.9 miles every time that you go around. So that is the exercise that I have been choosing to get. On top of that, I've also been doing a little bit of yoga in the morning. Nothing crazy. I'm not like I can't like put my legs behind my head or anything like that. I know you might laugh at the thought of a fat guy doing yoga and rolling around on the floor, but my girlfriend does yoga every morning before she heads off to work, so I decided to start joining her in that and just kind of add it into my routine, because that's really a big thing with me, not just me, but humans in general, is getting into a habit and routine, because we are creatures of habit. And I believe that wholeheartedly, because once I do get into a routine and I make something part of my regular everyday schedule, it just becomes that much easier to do it, and then I start doing it without even thinking about it, like these walks. And when I choose to come out here and do them, I just try to really get into a habit of doing that every single day. I'll usually come out here when I finish working on a video. I'll usually do a video in the morning, I'll edit it, and then when it's rendering, especially if it's a 4K render, it takes about an hour for it to render out on my current PC. And that's if it's like 10 minutes plus, but neither here nor there. Basically, it takes like anywhere 45 minutes to an hour, depending on the length of the video, if it's 4K. So I'll usually take that time to drive down here, because this place is only a few miles away from my house. I'll do a couple of laps, go back home, upload the video, and that's pretty much my workout routine for the day. And then I'll go about doing any other errands that I need to do running around town or around the house, things like that, cooking meals and everything. So that's pretty much the workout routine that I've been sticking to right now. I do plan to get a gym membership. There's a gym right around the corner from me, but it's a pretty high commitment when it comes to registering with this gym. They don't have like a monthly membership. It's kind of a pretty hardcore gym, actually. It's like where a lot of the muscle heads go and things like that. And it's $400 for the year, which is not crazy. But you got to pay it up front. So I've kind of been saving money to have $400 to just go there and plop down on the gym membership. And then there was also the fears that I wanted to make sure I was going to stick with this, so I kind of wanted to give myself a little bit of a challenge initially to make sure that I'm going to stick with this workout thing, even though I know I need it to pretty much not die. I wanted to make sure that I was going to stick with it before I spent $400, even though that would probably be enough motivation for me to use it anyway. But in the past, I've signed up for gyms and then stopped going after a few weeks, so I just wanted to make sure that I was committed enough to not, blow the money and not ever go to use the gym membership. So that's kind of part of the reason behind it, but also just the fact that it's a decent amount of money you got to put down up front to sign up for a year at this gym. So just kind of been putting that off until I got the coin to go ahead and sign up really for the gym. If you guys are interested in supporting the channel in any way and helping me get there a little bit sooner, I'll leave a Patreon link down in the description below for you guys. But that's pretty much it for the exercise. I know I was talking a little bit before about diet, but I did want to mention some of the things that I've been cooking and some of the things I've been making. We made a low carb, actually, I don't know if there's really any carbs in it except for maybe some of the spices, but that's like really very minimal. Was a low carb enchilada chicken casserole, which was, oh my god, it was so amazing. I do my own homemade enchilada sauce. So I did the enchilada sauce, and then I cooked the chicken in the enchilada sauce for about 40 minutes on the stovetop on like low to medium heat, until it got to 165 internal temperature. Then I pulled it out, let it set for about 10 minutes, and then I shredded it. And then I added the sauce into the chicken and everything like that. So you had like that, and I added in some queso cheese, some other herbs and spices, and then we did cheddar cheese on the bottom of the casserole, the chicken with the enchilada sauce and all the other spices, and then more cheese on top with some, and then I finished it off with some cilantro, and it was amazing. If you guys be interested in me doing a recipe video on that, let me know. I'd be happy to do one. Definitely got the kitchen set up now to where I could be doing some more cooking videos like the one that I did a little while back on the roasted tomatoes. So if you guys want to see more of that, let me know down in the comments below. I wanted to do this video today because after last week's video, there was a lot of people saying, Joker, we want to see weekly updates or bi-weekly updates and all of that on the weight loss, the diet, and everything like that. So that's why I decided to do this video here today. So if you enjoyed this kind of style of video, let me know down in the comments. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're not already for more tech news and weight loss, diet updates, and maybe some diet tips here and there for the rest of you morbidly obese people out there in the audience, or just overweight, really. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I'm gonna get out of here, go home and upload this, and then I've got some errands to do before I start cooking dinner. And then we're having a big Memorial Day party this weekend, which is going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to try to stick to the diet during the Memorial Day party, but I know I'm going to drink some beer. Like, that's going to happen. I haven't had a beer in like over 2 weeks, and that's honestly been the hardest part of doing a keto diet, because beer is carbs. I mean, I know you can find low carb beers. I haven't really gone out of my way to look for them. I guess I would maybe consider trying them out, but I tend to like really hoppy IPAs and things along those lines. So if any of you guys are beer aficionados and you know of like a really hoppy IPA or like a dark lager that is also low in carbs, I feel like those things kind of cancel each other out. I feel like you can't have a hoppy beer without high carbs. I think that adds to it or something, doesn't it? Maybe I'm mistaken, I don't know. But yeah, if you know a low carb IPA with a lot of hops in it and really good, like a nice high IBU rating, it's your International Bitters units, let me know down in the comments below, and I will see if the local liquor establishments, purveyors of alcoholic beverages, if they have them in stock, and perhaps I will consume several dozen of them and enjoy it. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, guys. I will see you tomorrow for another video. Back to things as usual, the tech video. I think we're going to be reviewing a monitor tomorrow. Maybe, we'll see, unless there's some tech news I feel like we need to talk about. But yeah, hopefully a monitor review. It's been a few weeks since we've done one of those. All right, I'll see you guys then for that video. Have a nice one, and ta-ra.